this is like, this is all that you can do. It's just this. So, excuse me because I have no bra on, but honestly, don't give any fucks because it's hot. In today's episode of Shari's World, we will be doing my everyday makeup tutorial, and voila, let's get started. Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. I've never done a voiceover, but I'm actually really excited to do this for you guys. So the first thing we're going to do is clean off these brows just to make sure that there isn't any water or sweat or anything on there, and then we're going to jump right into brows. I like to take this NYX Eyebrow Shaper, and this is pretty much a wax. I no longer use a gel base to set my brows. I like to use this instead, and then take the spoolie of my brush to comb out my brows, and just to make sure that they're shaped and going the direction that I prefer. After that, you'll see me conceal my brows with a little bit of the MAC Pro Longwear concealer and the number 45 NC45. I like to use this to just give me like a real nice definition of how I want the brows to come out. This is my new favorite technique, which is filling in underneath the brow, just to pretty much I'm concealing underneath the brow just to like not show the hairs that are growing in, and just to give me a precise shape and definition that I would like. I used to do this back in the day, and then I brought it back, and I pretty much like this instead of filling in my brows first. And you can see there that it's starting to give the shape that I like. It's giving me a nice arch, and I was feeling like for a while that I was losing my arch from not doing my brows because they're growing unruly whichever way that they want. But this worked for me. I'll probably do my brows for my birthday next month. I just don't do my brows that much. I just like thicker brows, and so I wait a couple months to do them. I think the last time I did it was in June, and then before that was I think New Year's. But as long as I don't have a unibrow, I think that I'm fine. And then you'll see me just take the concealer brush just to bring down the product a little bit onto my lid and conceal my whole eyelid, just to make sure that there's no discoloration or anything. And then after that, you'll see me start to fill in the brow. I'm taking the Brow Guile from Tanya Crooks. There is two lighter shades that I like to take at the beginning of the brow, just to give a little bit of a definition, but towards the tail of the brow, I will take the darker, sort of dark brown, grayish granite color, and then I will also fill the bottom of the eyebrow just to give it a actual shape, and then to give more of a tail. I've been trying, this is all a new method as well. I've been trying this a couple times before I recorded this video, and my makeup has come out much better in my opinion of like how I want my brows to look, because sometimes I can go a little bit ham, and I do take a little bit of the product off onto a napkin and then go back in with the lighter one, and then go back in with the darker one, just to make sure that it looks evenly on both brows. There's nothing worse than having one brow being darker than the other. And I like to go back and forth between filling in the brow, using this spoolie to make sure that it's the shape that I want, and just looking at stepping away from the mirror and then coming closer to just make sure that it is symmetrical to my face. I know that brows are not twins, but I like them to look closely like real close sisters. I use a little Aquapho just to prep my lips, make sure that they are moisturized. This is one of my favorite preps for my lips. And then I'm taking a little bit of this essence. This is like a cream eyeshadow prep, and I use my concealer brush just to push in the product. I will not be wearing any eyeshadow today, and that's just because as an everyday makeup tutorial or makeup style, it's just not in my time to just put on eyeshadow and then create a look and have everything match and stuff like that. So an everyday real lifestyle for me is doing a full base, eyebrows, mascara, and lots of lips. So my eyelids do get very greasy, so that is why I use the eyeshadow base to cover. I just want it to be prepped, and I don't like to just put any kind of powder on it because it doesn't set as well unless you prep it. My favorite primer right now is the Silk Canvas from Tatcha. I have a little bit left from this Sephora sample that I have, and a little bit goes a long way. I probably put too much, and I use it all over my forehead, my nose area, and my chin. And then right here, I'm just doing a little bit of Nars Soft Matte concealer in the color Amande. This is another technique that I have been trying, which is instead of using a color corrector, I like to put a concealer that is close to my actual skin tone and color up the areas where I have dark spots versus using like an apricot or an orange concealer, because a lot of the times it makes my skin kind of look more red than I prefer. And this technique I find is a little bit easier to do because the only color corrector that I do have is from Anastasia, and I just find that it's a little bit too thick on my skin, whereas this one feels a little lightweight. I'll also use this same brush to carve out the tops of my brows, and I like doing this versus using the lighter concealer just because it'll start to just match my face, and I like things to look cohesive. I'm just showing you guys that's the color Amande. It's one of my favorite concealers as well. I don't use this underneath my eye just because, I don't know, I didn't think that it was light enough, and I found very quickly that it was my skin tone. So, there's that. Just double checking that there isn't any other spots I'm missing, and then I'll go in with the Nars Natural Radiant Long Lasting Foundation in the color Macao and take my beauty blender to push all that product in. And I'm just blending. And you'll see me go over my eyes just because I like things, like I said, to look cohesive, and I try not to make anything look any different. I love how much this matches me. It looks good with my like overall tone of my skin and the rest of my body. And this foundation is one of my favorites. It's super duper lightweight. I almost forget that I even have foundation on. I love feeling like I don't have makeup on and it's not heavy. Ever since I discovered this foundation, it's just been a win-win. Next thing I'm doing is taking the Laura Mercier medium deep translucent loose powder to just set my eyes, just to make sure that no oil peeks through. And I like that it has a little bit of a red undertone, so it does kind of look like I have some sort of eyeshadow on, but I didn't really try too much. And I'll take that all the way up to the eyebrow bone and then push that into the eye. Now I'm taking the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Concealer in the color 4N. And this is a little bit lighter than I wanted, and I was kind of on the fence about it at first, but I actually really love this concealer. It is long lasting. It works with pretty much all foundations I've ever tried. And then I'll take my beauty blender just to make sure that everything is pushed into my face. And I love a bright under eye. I'm not really into a bright forehead or a bright chin too much. I will take a little bit on later, but my biggest thing is to have a bright under eye. It makes me look very awake. It makes me feel like I'm very youthful. And this concealer can give me a conceal and a brightness. If you haven't tried it, I would definitely recommend trying it. Little dance. And then take the bridge of the nose. Make sure everything is blended and that it looks good. Then I'm taking this super matte loose powder from Makeup Forever to set my entire face. I have yet to find a powder that I can use underneath my eye that is not going to make me look very, what I call casket ready. And another technique that I like to use is just using the powder puff that comes with like all of these brands that make powders and pushing that. I prefer that method versus using a beauty blender. I think the beauty blender and the concealer and all that and the powder just makes it look a little too cakey, and I think a powder puff that is dry and that can absorb oils and all that, and obviously you need to clean it often, but it is very good at pushing product into the face, and it just melts right in. I like to put a little bit on my mustache just because I have some fine lines that are coming through, or I call them laugh lines. And whenever I do that in that area, I find that it's not as noticeable when I wear foundation versus not putting any powder there. Going back to the brows, make sure that they are complete and the way that I like. A little bit more powder. Brush the powder away. And then I love curling my lashes. I think I got this from Sephora. And then I'll take a little bit of the Superfan, the Smashbox Superfan mascara. I'm not really that crazy about it. I have it just because it's open, but it doesn't curl my lashes the way that I would like. It's a good wand, but I don't think the formula is that great. It does run sometimes. If I'm a little too hot or sweaty, I'll notice it underneath my eye. And then just so that I can have some longevity with this mascara, I'll take a little bit of the Fiber Optics powder from Physicians Formula. I've had this for a little bit. I'll use that after one coat of mascara just so that I can keep them in place and so that they don't move. This is something I would love to do every day, but it's a little bit of time consuming. I do it now if I know, you know, I will be out all day or I'm going to be at work for 8+ hours. This is definitely helpful at keeping mascara definitely in place. And then taking the Maybelline Fit Me Maybelline Fit Me blush in the color Wine 50, and I'm taking that with my Pro Precision highlighter brush from Luxie. I've been loving doing this to put on my blush versus using a blush brush. Either I need a new blush brush or I don't care for mine anymore. I like to take this KKW brush, and I like that it's small enough and it gets into that little, you know, pocket of your cheek, and it creates a little bit of definition instantly. And I took the Pure Cosmetics Sculptor palette. It's a highlight and contour palette, and I just define those cheeks a little bit, take it on up a little bit, give me some warmth to my face. I'm not a big huge bronzer person, but I do like to add a little definition back into my nose as well. And then I will take a little bit of Amrexy highlight and take that same brush and go to town. After that, you'll see me take the Sephora Collection Micro Smooth Baked Powder in the color Mahogany. I love this powder. I probably should have done this as soon as I powdered my face because I can see areas that could use some improvisation. Could be improved a little bit. It's one of my favorite powders. Whenever I wear this, I notice that I have sort of like that celebrity glow, that like youthfulness that makes me look like I highlighted my entire face. And this powder has like these pearlescent, like little pearls in it, and I love it. I also like to just bring back my mole. And then after that, you will see me apply a little bit of lipstick, a little bit of lip liner from NYX. This is the color Downtown Beauty. Fill in my whole lips. I should have found my favorite lipstick from, my current favorite lipstick is Greystone. I have been wearing it for the past 2 weeks, and I use it in the middle of my lips, but I didn't get a chance to find it. I think I lost it. So I'll fill in my whole lips, and then you'll see me put a little bit of Fenty lip gloss on, and then that completes this video, guys. That is the look that I have for you. This is like an everyday look. I will switch up the lips of every once in a while, but this is usually my go-to. So thank you guys so much for watching my channel, and I will see you guys next time. Sound off below if you like this video. Hit a like, hit the subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so I can tell you when I post. See you guys next time. Thanks again. Bye.